As consumers, we are bombarded by it at every turn, like the Incredible Hulk being bombarded by gamma rays. But what makes some media endure, while others are banished to the forgotten black hole of obscurity, never to be heard from again? Who or what decides this? Hetero life mates Steve and Yahel want to know, and they want to know now. This is Obscurity Now. Hey, paisanos! It's time for the Obscurity Now Obscurity Show. I'm one of your hosts, Steve Mario. I'm wearing my son's Mario Halloween hat from last year, which we will be recycling for next year. And with me is a guy who's fueled on pasta power. It's
Yahel. How are you doing, Steve? I did not expect you to be wearing a Mario hat.
Surprise, bitch! I don't know why I said that. No, like I just saw it on the ground because I guess we were trying to see if our son would fit into his costume again. Luckily, he does, and I was like, hey, why don't I just get into the spirit of the episode? And, while I'm at it, why don't I just get myself really dirty and erotically rub cake all over my chest?
Yeah, why not, Steve? That's what you should have two grown men do to you.
Damn, we're already ruining the end of this.
Supple.
Yeah. Nubile teen body. Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
But all right, so spoiler alert, we're covering the very first episode ever of the Super Mario Brothers Super Show. That's right, the one where it's a cartoon, and just like with Video Power, for some reason they felt a need to start it out with live action segments starring...
I will say I feel like they put more effort into writing these live action segments than they did Video Power.
Oh, it's funny you should mention that. Just jumping right into some fun facts here. It was said that Lou Albano and what's the other guy's name? The guy who played Luigi? Do you have it handy?
It's Danny Wells, I believe.
They improvised a lot of their lines, apparently.
I mean, honestly, those guys have pretty good chemistry.
Yeah, they're for 1940s vaudeville. I mean, they've got it. I mean,
This did come out in the 40s, right, Steve?
It feels like it at times. A really sort of pornographic alternate universe of the 40s.
Yeah. Released in September of 1989.
Yeah, there you go. So let's just dive right into the pilot episode of the Super Mario Brothers Super Show.
Welcome to your feature presentation.
All right, in case anyone is keeping track or cares about where exactly the Super Mario Brothers Super Show fits in the Nintendo or Mario TV cinematic universe, as you can see from on the Obscuritron here, or if you can't see, then you will hear us talk about it. Super Mario Brothers Super Show came out in 1989. It is the second time, I guess, Mario premiered on TV. Before it is Saturday Supercade, which ran from 1983 to 1984, an animated television series based on the many different arcade games popular at the time. Different segments include Frogger, Donkey Kong Jr., Mario, Pauline, Donkey Kong, and again, Donkey Kong Jr. I don't know why they put that twice. Did you ever watch that show?
No, I don't think I've even heard of it before.
I've only heard about it in other gaming documentaries. I've never seen it myself. And then obviously right behind it in 1989 is Super Mario Brothers Super Show. What is your history? Well, first, when did you first encounter Mario at all? And then what is your history with the show?
So I was living in Puerto Rico. I was a young, supple,
constantly getting cake rubbed on you by middle-aged men.
Cake and dirt just rubbed on me erotically. I was in Puerto Rico. We had an NES. I think we got it like in '86. We got it not too long after it came out. We were one of the few people in Puerto Rico that I knew of that had an NES. We were high rollers.
Wow. Yeah.
Over in PR. But yeah, that was my first experience. I mean, playing, I was like 6 or 7, something like that, and playing the first Mario game on the old school NES.
Nice.
I do remember this show, however, for 2 reasons. One is applicable to our podcast today. The other one's just kind of terrifying in a way, but for me. So yeah, I mean, I remember watching the show. In fact, I remember this episode. As I started watching it, I'm like, oh, this is really familiar.
Really took you back, huh?
Oh no, this was the yeah. And then once the cartoon started, like I remember the entire plot. Like I didn't watch like this like all the time, but for whatever reason, and I think it's because of Toadstool's the choice that they made for Toad's voice.
Oh yeah, I've got it in my notes. One of the worst voices ever.
What a choice! What a choice! Also, never want to see Toad without his mushroom head again.
That was horrifying. Yeah.
But yeah, so one of the songs from, and I know we'll probably get into the themes in a little bit, but one of the songs, to the Mario, like there was this thing called the Nintendo Power, maybe it was called like the Nintendo Power Tour or something like that. But basically, it was like a tournament put on by Nintendo. I don't think it was the Nintendo World Championships. I think it was like an offshoot of that, but whatever it was, you got to compete to like do play video games. It was kind of like a bit like a convention actually, but put on by Nintendo. Anyways, one of the things you could do was go to this thing that was promoting the Mario fruit snacks, which were
I remember those.
I don't know, fruit roll-ups. And you could dance in front of a little set that they made that looked like the World 1-1 on Mario, and you would dance around to like a 5-fucking-minute version of this song. It was like the super cut of the song, and after a minute or two, you were like, "Wow, this." Even as a child, I know this is not going to be good and terrible. And thankfully, that tape was lost. But my parents
too bad.
That shit out and show it to people year after year.
So that's why you hate your parents so much.
Oh, that's just the icing. It was mostly the erotic cake.
Oh no, that they made your uncles do to you.
Yeah. Well, my plumber's friends, their plumber friends.
Right. Of course, it's got to be done by a plumber. It's just not erotic.
Yeah. Steve, I mean, my parents are gonna get perfection. If they had NES money in Puerto Rico, they've got money to get.
Yeah. I'm impressed. Like, are you sure you even need to be doing this show? I mean, you should be off in your solid gold jet or something.
This is my community service for my crimes.
Thank you.
We should point out, because we brought up erotic rubbing in children a few times, so this does tie into like just a weird thing that happens at the end of the episode that we'll get to. Nobody was erotically rubbed in the making of this podcast, but in the making of the Mario Super Mario Brothers Super Show, well, however you say it, yes, people were erotic.
But if you want to rub cake on yourself while you're listening or watching, we can't stop you. All right, so yeah.
Your history with erotic cake. I mean, just the show, the Super Mario Brothers.
I actually played Atari first before I played Nintendo.
Same here.
Yeah, my cousin had one, and he even got a Nintendo before me. But yeah, that's of course the first time I encountered Mario was as a video game, and I'm pretty sure I had like I remember those like they were sort of like sticker trading cards, and then you could like rub. I remember those were making the rounds back at like kindergarten and first grade, and I remember I had some of those before I ever had my Nintendo, and then I remembered I asked my dad one Christmas. I was like, "Can we get a Nintendo this Christmas?" Or no, actually, more specifically, I was like, is Santa Claus going to bring a Nintendo this Christmas? Because my plan was to take those stickers and put it on the Nintendo. And he was like, no, son.
What a plan.
I know. I was way ahead of my time back then.
I like to think you had like a cork board with yarn and pins, like with your plan.
Well, I'm constantly, I was a conspiracy theorist at a very young age, but more on that later. And he was like, I don't remember how eventually we got to it, but basically he just went out and said, "Hey, there's no Santa Claus. I'm bringing the gifts, and that's how I know you're not getting one." And I was just like, "Oh, well, okay." So I went ahead and I put
Wow.
the stickers on something else. And
So your dad. We're not gonna skip over that. Your dad just hit you with a double whammy. Not only are you not getting one, you're not getting one not because Santa doesn't want to bring you one. He actually hit you with a triple whammy. Not getting a fucking Nintendo. You know why? It's not because Santa Claus doesn't want to bring it to you, because he's not real. That's the second one. And the third, it's me. It was me, Austin. It was me all along. Your dad pulls out and it was me, Austin, and turns heel and says, I don't want to give you what you want.
He totally McMahoned me at a very young. I didn't even know what he was doing back then. That name, that term wasn't even invented. But yeah, so I was just like, oh, wow, that's kind of a drag. And I went and I put my stickers on something. And what was underneath the goddamn Christmas tree that Christmas? A goddamn Nintendo.
It's a swerve, bro.
He did. He swerved me. Like, I mean, but I think that's what, I don't know. I was reading some philosophy or whatever, or maybe it was a comedian or something. He was saying that you're supposed to basically gaslight your kids into thinking they want something else, but then in the end you give them what they actually want. That way they're more appreciative or something like that.
I feel like that's a slippery slope. That's like a gateway to negging, to that art of flirting.
I
or whatever
agree
it's called.
100%.
Like,
yeah, it was actually
right?
It was Jordan Peterson. What am I saying?
Okay.
Or who's the guy who got canceled? It was that guy. No, but
oh, the guy that was like, we'll see who cancels who. That guy.
Sure. But no, the show came on. I loved it. I remember it would either come on before or after Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Well, no, you know what? I wouldn't say that I loved it. Even at the time, I was just like, oh, this is Nintendo, so it must be good, right?
It's like, it's hard to look away from the show.
Right. I mean,
if somebody said, write a one-sentence review, I would say it's hard to look away from.
It's a nice little train wreck / commercial for Nintendo.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, just jumping into the show, like hearing the theme song and the live action segments at the beginning really took me back. And yeah, I remember as I was reading about it, they're like, yeah, the show basically it went Monday through Friday, but on Friday instead of having the Mario cartoon, they replaced it with Zelda, the Zelda cartoon.
Which they at the end of the first episode, they give you a little preview for the next episode of Zelda, and it even says like next Friday or this Friday.
Yep. And man, maybe it was the way it was cut or something, but that Legend of Zelda episode looked way better than the Mario episode.
I think it was the way it was cut, because I don't remember the Zelda cartoon being particularly
right. I don't think it is. I don't remember it being good either. But hey, maybe one day we'll figure it out in a future episode.
Yeah. I think we'll need to revisit this show at some point.
Oh, I mean, I'd like to blaze through as many video game cartoons as possible because they're all usually pretty bad. But yeah, just after Super Mario Brothers Super Show, or I guess I should say during its run, we also got Captain N and the Game Master, which also had. I remember Mario would show up in that, and for some reason wasn't he green or something? Do you remember that? Or no, I'm thinking of Mega Man, right?
Yeah. There's something weird about the Mega Man cartoon. From what I remember, there's a couple characters that like have some weird color things going on, but I don't know if it was like from this show or not. But there's some weird like Nintendo.
Right.
Although Mega Man's a Capcom property, but yeah, there was like some cartoon that Mega Man.
Yeah, but he was still in Captain N though. I mean, Simon Belmont was in there too. So, all right. Yeah. So I guess also during 1989 to 1990, there was something called King Koopa's Cool Cartoons. And the fun thing about this is that it's all spelled with K. So you got your 3 Ks there. Luckily, there's a 4th one, just so you're not confused. And it says it's a live-action show featuring a man dressed up and playing the role
in a white.
The role of King Koopa with a pointy white hat. Yeah, the show featured a live audience, which consisted of children. At the end of the episode, the man in the suit would give away prizes to winners, such as the Power Glove. Boy, how disappointed would those kids have been. And then you got another one here in 1990. I mean, or did you ever even hear about KKKK? I mean, King Koopa's Cool Cartoons?
It sounds familiar. I'm pretty sure I never watched
Yeah,
it.
I've never heard of it. And then this is Club Mario during the summer of 1990.
Yeah, Club Mario, I do remember.
It was during broadcasts of the Super Mario Brothers Super Show, live action segments were replaced by Club Mario, which featured a group of teenage Mario fans. Yeah, I have that written in the notes later. And then we've got
Covered in cake and dirt.
yeah.
That actually they're referred to as the victims of Mario. Was the full name.
Wow. And then I remember this one, The Adventures of Super Mario Brothers 3, which was also in 1990.
Yeah.
Continuation of the Super Mario Brothers Super Show. The series was based on the Famicom and NES title, Super Mario Brothers 3. Blah, blah, blah. There's really nothing else interesting to say. And man, there's so many more here than I thought. This was followed by, or I should say, during the Super Mario Challenge. And it's a game show featuring John Lanahan, I have no idea who that is, dressed as Mario and having children compete against one another in the first 3 Super Mario games. And then, of course, the losers get covered in cake. Do you remember that one at all?
Yeah, a little bit.
It doesn't ring a bell. And then Super Mario World, I think most people know that one. Again, a continuation of the Mario stuff, and it has a Yoshi in it. I think that one came on Saturdays, if I remember correctly. But and then Captain N and the Video Game Masters, a compilation TV show produced for syndication, which consisted of some of the Nintendo-based cartoons that Deke had produced. Captain N, Legend of Zelda, Super Mario. So basically, it was an anthology, if you will. And then this was another sort of anthology, Mario All-Stars. It was I guess they released it in conjunction with the release of Super Mario All-Stars, and it was another compilation of all the Mario cartoons. And then
man, they really squeezed as much as they could.
Oh yeah, yes they did. And then the last two, I guess, at least on this list, in terms of the Nintendo Cinematic Universe, is Donkey Kong Country and Donkey Kong Planet. And it's weird. It's a Canadian, French, Chinese CG animated series that ran for 2 seasons. Did you check out either of those? Any of the Donkey Kong? I don't remember.
No.
I mean, by that point, you and I were, studs going out and rubbing cake on women left and right.
Out in the world, spreading our DNA.
I like to keep it here on the planet, Yahel. I mean, there's no point in sending it out into space. Yeah. All right.
Right. Not like that idiot Matt Morgan, who I don't know if you've been following him recently, but he turned out to be an actual idiot.
Well, what did he do?
Let's just say when you jokingly talk about believing conspiracy theories, he is not joking about it. He's one of those.
Isn't he the mayor of some small town now or something?
I can't remember if he was mayor or but he got elected to something. And he's one of those.
Mayor of Stupidville is more like it.
Yeah. He's one of those politicians where if it's not going his way, it's because of insert crazy conspiracy.
Right. The Russians, the reptilians,
the birds aren't real.
Don't say anything about the reptilians. We work for them, after all.
Oh, yeah. Everything.
I completely. All right, before we jump into the notes here, I would just like to run a promo for Escape to Earth, which is on sale at the Reptilian Media Big Cartel site. There will be a link in the description. Here's the promo. I'm having a weird day. The name's Adam. Where I'm from, I'm known as the Zero Thief. Depending on who you ask, some might say I'm the best thief. But believe it or not, even the best screws up every once in a while, and that's what I did, and I had to make a fast getaway. Ended up crash landing on this bizarre planet. Turns out, I didn't get away fast enough. These winged freaks followed me here.
It's just us here, Zero Thief, on this empty backwoods planet. So start talking, either to me or my blade.
Okay, I do have something to tell you. It's about the planet. It's not that empty. Come on, man. I thought you were gonna duck. Cut me loose. Cut me loose. Behind you. Whoa! Ah! Thought I was done for. It was gonna be a light snack for a snarling creature, but then she showed up, riding on the back of one of those monsters like it was nothing, and with a wave of her hand, the other razor-toothed beast just stomped away. I'd never seen anyone like her before in my life. I thought I'd say something clever. Thanks, have you seen my ship? She gave me a look that said more than words ever could, because I think she was trying to read my mind or something. And from there, things just got even weirder. Escape to Earth. 36 pages of insane dinosaur action. Issue 1 available now at reptilianmedia.bigcartel.com. Featuring a variant cover by Sean Forney. Act now while supplies last. All right, and there you have it. Buying comics helps out this show quite a bit. Just throwing it out there. Okay. Where are we here? All right, so Super Mario Bros. Super Show, it ran for one season, a total of 65 episodes. We're watching the pilot episode, which it's weird. It's got like two titles. The title of the I guess the live action segment is called Neatness Counts, and then the name of the animated segment is called The Bird. Brilliant title, if I do say so myself. And this episode premiered September 4th, 1989, and here's a synopsis of this crazy plot. Okay. While crossing the land of ice, Toad gets kidnapped by a giant birdo who thinks the mushroom is her missing baby. And that's it. And why does it say giant birdo? It seemed to me that it was just a regular-sized birdo, if you ask me.
I guess maybe they were trying to differentiate. Yeah, I didn't quite get that.
Yeah.
I was about to try to make an excuse for that. But you know what? I shouldn't. These are professional 40s I almost said vaudevillains.
Right?
Vaudeville actors. They should know.
Yeah, for sure. So this show, the Super Mario Bros. Super Show, was actually created by Andy Heyward, and he is the former chairman and CEO of Deke Entertainment, which is the head production company of the Super Mario Bros. Super Show. And this particular episode was directed by former porn director Dan Ryba. I mean, I just...
Really? Is the actual...
No, but he has worked on a lot of classic cartoons, some that we need to cover, and here's a few. Trollstopia, we don't need to cover that one. But the Alf animated series, Batman Beyond, Justice League, and Freakazoid, which we need to add to the list for sure.
Okay. All right, so he's got a couple decent ones in there.
And this was written by a couple of guys. First is a brother team of writers named Reed Shelley and Bruce Shelley. I don't think they're related to Alex Shelley in any way. I just thought I'd add him in there for some reason. All right, they wrote, do you remember Hammerman, the MC Hammer cartoon?
Oh my God, yes I do.
Well, they are responsible for writing one of those episodes. Captain Planet, Savage Dragon, make sure you check out our Savage Dragon episode. Street Sharks, and Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog. So they double dipped into video game properties, working on Mario and Sonic. And then this guy is an alum of Obscurity Now, Bob Forward. He worked on Exo Squad, Wildcats, Ultra Force, all shows that we've already covered. And I thought this was apropos since we were talking about covering these guys. Tattooed teenage alien fighters from Beverly Hills.
Oh man, you know what? I actually listened to their theme song the other day because I was just curious, and it is a gem. the Tattooed Teenage Alien Fighter song. It's good. I'm looking forward to covering.
Oh yeah, me too. Of course, since this show came out in the '80s and was popular, the music has to be done by. Can you guess who it was done by?
Shooky
and Haim Saban, because they are one of the production companies behind this show. As we said, Deke Entertainment, Saban Productions, and Nintendo of America. And
For those that don't know, Shaquille Levy did a bunch of songs for a bunch of shows, and we've covered VR Troopers, X-Men, Get Out of Here. I mean, like that. Even if the rest of the songs sucked, he did the X-Men cartoon theme song. That's all you need to know. But I'm sure you are aware he did Alf, the animated series. But yeah, Inspector Gadget, just a ton of stuff. I think he did, Dragon Ball Z. So yeah, lots of stuff.
Now, I was looking at who actually did who spit those fat rhymes for the opening Mario theme, which we're about to get to here in a second. And it said that they did it, that Lou Albano and Luigi, they were the ones who rapped the beginning and the end. But that can't be right.
That can't be. It's definitely like the Albano does do the last.
Right, for sure.
The end rap.
Yeah, there's no way they could have done it. And despite how hard I looked, I mean, I tried 1 to 3 different websites. I couldn't find who rapped the opening theme to Super Mario Brothers. I mean, Wikipedia says that it's Lou Albano and God, why do I keep forgetting his name? It's written right here. Danny Wells. It said that it was them too, but there's no way. There's no way.
Yeah, I mean, Danny Wells. You know, I mean, has a lot of credits. You know, I'm sure he's a fine thespian. However, I don't believe anyone could change their voice.
Are you saying Danny Wells doesn't have the skills to pay the bills?
You know, the thing is, like, it sounds nothing like his voice. I know,
it's no way. No. I mean, I would say it could even be Chaim Saban and Shuki Levy before them. I mean, they probably, don't sound like that either, but.
Yeah. And, you know, maybe it's in the credits at the end.
Oh, so why didn't I look there?
Yeah, I didn't think about it.
Well, we'll solve this mystery someday. Why don't you tell me who are some of the people who are in this episode?
Alrighty, so first of all, we've got Lou Albano playing Mario. I think most people will know him from either WWF, now WWE, or from the Cyndi Lauper video, Girls Just Want to Have Fun.
Right.
I'm serious. I think like people that know him but didn't watch wrestling, that's where they know him.
You mean normies, non-marks?
I mean old.
Yes, of course.
People are now. But yeah, anyways, Lou, like we mentioned, he also does the rap at the end. But yeah, I mean, he did a little bit of acting here and there, so he definitely goes for it. Then we've got playing the part of Luigi, Danny Wells. Danny Wells has so much random stuff in his IMDb filmography. I don't know if you looked at it at all, but I want to point out a few. First of all, have you ever heard of Duck X?
No. What is that?
We might need to add this. It's just the description sounds terrible, but somehow it went on for 5 years.
Wow.
It says it's a cartoon. Fasten your safety harness, dudes and dudettes. Extreme sports meets Wayne's World.
Ooh, and he's in it?
Ugh.
I mean, how old must he have been when this was what year was this?
2001.
Oh, he must have been like 60 or something. Oh, but I mean, it's cartoons though, right?
His last credit is 2013.
Wow. But it's a cartoon, right? So, Duck X?
Yeah, it's a cartoon.
Okay. Sounds awesome.
But yeah, I mean, feathers are going to fly when the extreme ducks bite the air, slam the snow, and kiss the asphalt. Anyways, this goes on and on. It's a really long description, but yeah, we might need to investigate that in more detail. But he was also in Little Wonders, which I know that's something that we're looking to cover.
You mean Small Wonder? Small Wonder.
I'm sorry, Small Wonders, which he was in 3 episodes. We're looking to cover that. And in The Adventures of Super Mario Brothers 3, he does the voice of Luigi.
Well, he did
in the cartoon.
Nice, yeah.
He was in Heathcliff. I don't know if you knew that.
I did not.
He was in the A-Team, like 5 episodes of the A-Team. So anyways, I'm not going to keep going on and on, but he was just in a lot of like stuff I was not expecting.
Nice.
So good for him. Good for him. All right, moving on. I mean, that's kind of like the main people. Doing the voice of King Koopa, however, in the cartoon is Harvey Atkin. He's done just a bunch of voice stuff. His most recent credit was in 2017, but he actually did a voice in Heavy Metal,
Oh,
the cartoon. So I thought that was pretty
nice.
cool. He's done some live action stuff. He was in a bunch of episodes of Law and Order, Special Victims Unit. Probably got arrested for rubbing cake on kids. I don't know.
This is what started it. This is what started the addiction.
Did you ever hear of a TV series called I Was a Sixth Grade Alien?
Yeah, I've heard of that. Yeah.
All right, well, maybe we should cover
Okay.
that. He was in it, and boy, does it look terrible. But yeah, he was in some show called One Tough Cop, which sounds weird.
Yeah.
Anyways, but yeah, he's got lots of other voice credits. Then we've got, I'm only going to go over one or two more people. Wanted to cover, oh, they're not on here. I wanted to cover the person that did the voice of Toad.
John
actually
Stalker.
don't-
John Stalker.
Oh, yep, you're right. There he is. So John, and it's Stalker, Stocker, as if though his profession is to be a stalker.
Right.
You know. Anyways, his page is not loading up for me now. So I guess just like his voice of Toad, it's something you want to forget.
Oh,
His acting
snap.
career.
Take that, John. Well,
But yeah, I was actually trying to find who did Birdo, but they're not
It's,
listed. Jeannie Elias.
yeah, that's her.
Oh, okay. Jeannie Elias also did the voice of Toadstool. She's done a bunch of voice acting in video games and other animated stuff. John Stalker has done some live action things, but he's still working.
Oh, good.
I don't know if you
Good
saw
for
that.
him.
He's got something in pre-production. I'm sure it won't be good.
Take that, John.
But also, Nicole Eggert plays our special celebrity guest star, which was kind of like I don't think every episode had a celebrity guest, but most of them did from what I remember.
One that stands out to me is Ernie Hudson when Ghostbusters was a big deal.
I knew you were going to bring him up. I was going to name a few of them. But Nicole Eggert, I did a little bit of quick math here, Steven. This episode aired in 1989.
That's right.
So September 89. So it had to be filmed in 88 or maybe 89, probably 88. But, we're going to give them the benefit of the doubt and say it was filmed in 89. She was born in 72. That would make her 17 years old at the most, probably 16.
Damn.
And these plumbers.
Wait till we get to the end. But like,
all right.
because I was looking, because another thing is like she's on there, and I think Luigi says, "Oh, I watch your show every day," and I was looking as well. I was like, so what show is she promoting? And in '89,
Charles in Charge, I guess.
either that or Baywatch, because in '89 she just joined Baywatch.
So I have her joining Baywatch in 92.
Oh, okay. So yeah.
Which would make more sense because she would not be a minor anymore.
Oh man, this is gonna be a very icky episode.
Just add bleeps.
Yeah.
People will be like, what the hell is going on?
Oh man. All right, so
yeah, she was in. I'm sorry. Just
yeah. Go ahead.
On. And I know I'm spending a lot of time on. We're spending a lot of time not on the episode, but it's gonna be a quick episode to cover, folks, because not a lot happens during the animated stuff.
No.
But I wanted to point out she was in Charles in Charge. Then she went on to Baywatch, as you mentioned, including the Baywatch wedding movie. But did you know, where is the? Oh wait, I think I confused her with somebody else. There was she was in T.J. Hooker.
Okay.
Which I think that's on our list, but oh, that's right. She was in an episode of Duckman.
Really? Huh? I never knew that.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, kind of crazy. In '96, so don't worry, she was an adult then.
Yeah, but no one's rubbing cake on her in Duckman, like that we know of.
We don't know. Who knows, right? But yeah, you know, we kind of talked a little bit about how there's a bunch of guest stars on there. Ernie Hudson plays himself. Obviously, Nicole Eggert played herself, and Roddy Piper. There's an episode. Sergeant Slaughter plays himself in an episode. Cyndi Lauper plays herself. So all those make sense. They all have connections to either Lou or to the WWF. But I never saw this episode. There's an episode with Elvira.
Oh, what? Oh, that I'd like to see.
And this is a kid's
And she's
show.
in like full
Elvira.
Elvira regalia, or is she just showing up in her regular,
So I was wondering that myself, if she was going to be kind of covered up, or if she was going to be all boobs out. So I found a clip from the show. She is all boobs out.
Yes, you gotta love the 80s and 90s.
So yeah,
That made a lot
and they're
of
doing this
young
weird.
boys grow up real fast.
They do like this weird tug of war where like Mario's got one arm, a mummy who we later find out is Luigi has her other arm, and they're pulling her back and forth and making things move as they would in Dead or Alive. I don't know if you're
beach
familiar with that video
beach
game
volleyball,
franchise.
yeah.
Yes.
That's
So, anyways, that is the cast and some of the eroticism that you can expect from the Super Mario
it's
Brothers.
only gonna get more erotic. So stick around, ladies and
And
gentlemen.
possibly illegal.
Possibly, yeah. Well, it was a different time. Let's say that.
Yeah. Well, let's just say that Chris Hansen almost had to be called onto the set.
And he wasn't even old enough to catch a predator back then.
I don't know. He would have been a predator catching game.
I was just trying to make a joke. I'm sorry. But I have some a little bit of trivia here. For the role of Mario in the live action segments, Lou Albano shaved his trademark goatee, and instead of wearing a false handlebar mustache, he opted to grow a real one because he's all man, baby. And yeah, we already mentioned how Lou and Danny Wells, Mario and Luigi, frequently improvise a lot of their dialogue. And the only voice actors who appeared in all three Mario cartoons voicing the same characters was Harvey Atkin, who portrayed Bowser, King Koopa, and John Stark and Stalker, who also appeared in all three, but not as the same character. And we already talked about Club Mario, how it was just basically the same stuff without the live action segments with the stereotypical 80s style teenagers. And let's see, man, that's not all that interesting. And we already talked about that. Okay, so ready to dive into the episode?
Let's do it.
All right, so we start out with the opening theme, which, of course, it is a rap, since this is the late 80s and early 90s, set to the music of the first level. What were your thoughts, as a kid hearing this, and what were your thoughts now?
You know, I don't remember my thoughts as a kid watching it, as far as the music goes, because of all the drinking I was doing then.
Wow, Puerto Rico must have really laxed alcohol laws.
Yeah, we just don't have that. You don't produce from the same island Ricky Martin and Daddy Yankee without having
a good
people
time.
some leeway.
Yeah.
You know?
Sure.
But we're just living La Vida Loca down there. But yeah, I was very annoyed by the constant sound effects from the show. I mean, from the video game, and the music. I thought was also a bit much, but I think it was a combination of constant music and constant sound effects that kind of was off-putting.
Oh, so you're talking about the soundtrack. I mean, I was just asking your thoughts on the theme.
Oh, I'm
Yeah,
sorry,
no problem.
Steve. I'm just ready to shit on the soundtrack.
You're all
No,
built up.
Yeah. No, the theme song's very memorable. Once it started up, I immediately remembered pretty much how the whole thing went. And yeah, I mean, I do remember liking the theme song as a kid.
Right.
Actually.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good. And I mean, while they really don't want you to forget that, hey, look, remember this? It's from the game. It's just constant fan service, which that word didn't even exist back then. So then we get to see Mario and Luigi, the live action ones, doing the Mario, which is just basically this.
Yeah. It's basically whatever Lou Albano's hips would allow him to do.
Right. Yeah, and it's
which, folks, is not much.
It's the lamest dance ever. And then the show begins, and there's a weird still shot of the exterior of Mario Bros. Plumbing right outside the Brooklyn Bridge, and it strangely reminds me of Cheers. Did you get Cheers vibes?
I guess
That's a no.
I mean, I don't know. I was never a big Cheers.
I mean,
fan.
I just thought it was funny because they obviously did a cheap still image instead of actually filming.
In that sense, sure. I can see that.
So now we are on the inside of Mario Brothers Plumbing, and Mario is straightening out his mustache. I almost said tie for some reason. Mario's straightening out his mustache in the most disgusting mirror ever. Did you notice all the grime on the mirror?
Yeah, I guess because they're plumbers,
it's supposed to be dirty, and it's going to get a whole lot dirtier.
there's a there's a whole bunch of leftover shit that hardened on the mirror that they couldn't get off.
Use your imagination on what it could possibly be. And this is
No, I meant literal shit because they're
right.
props,
Yeah,
fecal.
sure. Just shit, nothing else. Uh, Mario says, "Time for another day. Neatness counts." And Luigi pulls some spaghetti off of Mario. And it was weird. I guess a follower of ours on Twitter posted a clip, and I swear in the clip it sounds like Mario is saying "fuck you" to Luigi. And I that had to have been like an outtake or something. I told myself I was going to go back and you didn't catch that, did you, when you were watching this on Tubi?
No, I did not.
Someone
catch
must have
that.
created that clip, or just put some VO in or something. Oh yeah, and by the way, we're gonna spoil the episode, so check it out on Tubi. It's free. Why not?
Yeah, it's free on Tubi. It's probably available on. I didn't check if it was on YouTube. But
Yeah, you're probably
it's free on YouTube on Tubi, and the quality's good, and you don't need an account
Right.
or anything for Tubi.
So suddenly, out of nowhere, a female voice says, "Hello!" And they go over to the mirror, and for some reason, Nicole Eggert is in there. She then comes. She says she's like checking the labels on their toothpaste or something like that. Just like
Yeah, she says that she's like checking the expiration date on their toothpaste.
it's.
If you are not brushing your teeth regularly enough to use it before I didn't even know there was an expiration date.
I know. I don't think there is.
Well, listen, if there is an expiration date and you have to check it, brush your teeth more frequently.
Right.
Just,
Yeah.
you're not doing it enough. I don't know how many times you're doing it, but it is not enough.
But man, I don't know what I mean, I guess they're just trying to go for the wackiest kind of off the wall thing, which is a very sort of very 90s, sort of late 80s thing to do. Maybe they're trying to be a little like Yahel's favorite show, Pee-wee's Funhouse or Playhouse, Pee-wee's Playhouse.
Yes.
But anyway, so she comes out from around the mirror, and she comes inside and says that she's literally holding the newspaper, and on there it says that the best plumbers in the world are Mario and Luigi, and she needs her sink fixed. So then Luigi says that he needs to demonstrate on a nearby sink how they're going to unclog it. And as they're
Yeah, like for whatever reason, even though she's already obviously she wants to hire them,
yes,
but they're like, we're gonna show you that we're good enough to be hired.
It's the dumbest thing ever. Almost like appearing on the other side of the mirror instead of just walking in through the door. Like I don't know. I can't even wrap my mind around that one. But yeah, so Luigi and Mario go to work on this, like, I guess, demonstration sink, trying to show her how they're going to unclog it. And this, man, the sexual metaphors are already coming in left and right. And it only gets
Yeah.
worse as the sink ends up somehow squirting Nicole in the face. Then, in
Right.
classic sort of vaudeville Stooges fashion, like Mario and Luigi look at each other and go, "Uh-oh!"
Yeah, yeah. And already at this point, they've already kind of talked about how beautiful they think she is. Like they've made a few weird comments, like about how something looks.
Oh,
good
that's
on
coming
her,
up. That's
like-
coming up. Like,
Oh, that's
yeah,
okay.
yeah. I
thought
mean,
at this point they had
I
already,
would
like, talked
say
about how pretty she
that's
was.
like the first one. Like I'm kind of surprised they didn't do more at this point. But yeah, they definitely get there, and so will we.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically, what are your thoughts about the vaudevillian like open here so far?
I mean, like, it's not good, but somehow it's kind of
It's a
entertaining.
it's endearing, and and they definitely have that nostalgia factor going for them, and
Yeah, and these
they're
two,
going for it.
they're like really going for it. Like they're leaning heavily into like the campiness of it
Mm-hmm.
all. And these two guys, the guys playing like Luigi and Mario, they have really good chemistry.
Mhm.
Nicole seems like a little bit like she's trying, but she also, I feel, is like, I cannot believe I let my agent.
Right, but at the
sign
same
me up
time,
for
I
this.
mean, she proves herself to be quite the good sport, as we're about to see. Well, once we circle back around and get to the outro, if you want to call it that. So now we are getting into the cartoon, and even the cartoon gets its own like theme song, and it's basically a different verse of the rap. That basically tells the story of how Mario and Luigi got sucked in through a pipe while cleaning or working on a bathtub or something, and that's how they ended up in the Mushroom Kingdom. Do you think we really needed not one but two rap themes?
Yes. No. Yeah, I thought that was a little bit odd. So there's like 3 rap songs, I guess, overall,
If you
right?
count the outro, yeah.
Yeah. I will say, like, none of them are bad. Like, they're all pretty
Nope.
catchy. So at least they've got that going for it. But it does seem a bit
Oh,
much.
those songs have probably been stuck in my brain all my life. So,
I just, I assume that part of it has to be like, hey, this will kill 45 to
yep,
60 seconds of animation that we don't have to
save us some
do every
money.
episode. Yeah.
So then now we are outside in the land of ice, not Iceland, and it's daytime. Mario narrates, and he tells us that they just rescued the princess from King Koopa, and they are searching for the magic that will not only free the kingdom, but also send them back to Brooklyn. As they're traversing the icy tundra, Toad, who is stuck pulling the princess in a dog sled, gets scooped up in the claws of a birdo who was flying overhead, and she takes him basically back to her nest, which is more like a house on the highest peak
Right.
of this giant mountain. And Princess begs Mario to save Toad, and of course he agrees. And man, do you think they missed? I don't know. This is so. Why do you think they didn't go with the Mario origin story? Why did they tell us that in the theme song? Why didn't we get to see this in the pilot?
I don't know. And it's kind of weird that, like, in the live action, Mario and Luigi, they're in the Bronx. They're from the Bronx or
Huh.
something.
It's been a while since I've seen that,
And
but okay.
no, they brought it up a couple times during this episode. So yeah, I don't know why they did this, but I mean, whatever. It's for kids. I don't know. Maybe they thought it was funny,
Funny by not showing the origin, but yeah, I mean that's
or maybe they thought like kids already know the origin. Like, because if you're a kid watching Super Mario Brothers cartoon, you know who Mario
yeah.
is. So
All right, I can go with that. Okay, so yeah, during that scene we were also introduced to Toad and his incredibly obnoxious voice, and so now
how would you describe his voice?
it's like high pitched and gravelly at the same time, like
Right.
"Ah!"
And it's also like a bit of like a stereotypical New Yorker kind
Yeah,
of voice.
yeah. It's but he's not from New York. He's from the Mushroom Kingdom.
Right. Well, maybe hanging out with those Bronx plumbers has rubbed off on him or something. I don't know.
Right.
But
Much like how hanging out with a Bubba has rubbed off onto you and your impressions.
hey, I'm walking
Yeah.
here.
So yeah, they're in the Birdo house. Birdo keeps calling Toad cheapy, and it's revealed later that she thinks that it's her missing kid, basically. She gets a call from the Missing Bird Bureau, and she tells them they can call off the search because she's found her baby. She then tries to read the back of a milk carton that actually has a picture of her kid on it, because remember when they used to do that? But can't because her eyesight is so bad. So at least they explain.
Even though she's wearing glasses.
Right, but at least they attempted to explain why she's mistaken Toad for her kid. Birdo tries to hug Toad.
Well, Steve, I do have to ask you something though. Did you notice that when she answered the phone, she was holding the ring? She was holding like backwards.
Yeah, I did.
Like it was like.
I mean,
why
I think
would they do
it's supposed to be another I have bad eyesight gag. That's what I chalked it up to.
I guess. I guess that makes sense. The other thing is, I looked away for a second, and then when I looked back, she had like all this white stuff all over her mouth.
That was the milk she was drinking.
Oh, okay. I was like, "What is this?"
Yeah,
and like it stays there. For
Yeah,
a
they
long
left it
time.
there forever. It's man, this is more erotic than the Shadowhawk comic book, and that's really erotic.
It looked like ejaculate, if you will.
Oh God, you're right. Oh man, you're right. So moving on. Oh yeah, Birdo tries to hug Toad, but he dodges it and says, "I've got to get out of here." So now we're back with Mario and crew. They're climbing the mountain to the Birdo house. Out of nowhere, a giant chasm opens up, and Luigi says, "Oh, Toad is done for." Then Mario says, "Remember the plumber's motto: when a pipe is plugged, keep plunging. Pasta power." And I don't know. What do you think the deal with this pasta power is over here? I mean,
Because they're Italian. Because they're supposed to be Italian.
God, that's so bad.
That's all it is. It's stereotype. Because it's not like there's pasta like in Mario games at this point.
And like,
you know?
all right, let's try to unpack this here. So, all right, I guess because his name is Mario, because Shigeru Miyamoto named him Mario, and I guess just because he had a mustache, and a lot of Italian guys have mustaches, right?
And Luigi is clearly like an Italian name.
Yeah, but did they even did they even name him?
Luigi's in the first.
I mean,
Yeah, Luigi's in the first.
I know
game.
he's in like Super Mario Brothers, but he's not like in the pre Super Mario Brothers stuff. You know,
Yeah,
he
yeah,
is.
Where it's like the single screen. If you play two.
But
player,
did they name
like,
him
Luigi's...
though in that?
Oh, I don't remember.
Yeah. But yeah. Anyway, I don't know. I guess they just wanted Mario to have some fun catchphrases for kids to shout before they, punch their sister or best friend in the face.
Yeah, I'm sure maybe Big Pasta was giving the producers of the show kickbacks. They're like, hey, you can indoctrinate these kids into liking pasta. We'll give you a little bit of extra, I don't know, fettuccine.
Chef Boyardee, man, they have their tentacles in everything.
Yeah, and hey, you don't have to like bribe people to like enjoy pasta. They're gonna discover it and enjoy it no matter what.
It's true. So I guess they take this time to, or this scene to remind us that, boy, Mario and Luigi and the princess, because this also takes place during Mario 2, boy, do they love jumping over things. So with
you hear like the jumping sound effect a lot. There's a lot of music from Super Mario Brothers 2. They obviously like redid the tracks with real instruments and stuff, and I mean they sound good.
Yeah.
But I don't want to hear them
all the time. Yeah, they really hammered it home. So yeah, they jump over like no problem. I mean that wasn't really much of a challenge for them. But two nearby Koopa thugs look on. I don't recognize those guys from any of the games. Did you? The little white guys?
I don't remember which two.
They look like little clan members.
I think they're in Mario Brothers too.
Okay, I'll take your word for that. Anyway, they're looking on. Then they go back and report to Koopa. And man, this is probably the first example of fetishism that we get in this.
Yeah, I didn't even see Quentin Tarantino's name in the credits. They are.
So what are those white guy thug things called?
So they're called flurries, and they are an enemy from Mario Brothers 2, and they kind of don't look like your traditional Mario enemies, because like a lot of the enemies in Mario Brothers 2, just because they're from the Doki Doki Panic game that Mario Brothers 2 is a reskin.
Right. Well, I just don't remember them licking anyone's feet in that game.
Oh, yeah, I think that's just something that Quentin had added into this episode.
He edited it in? He did a director's cut on...
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, for those that don't know, Quentin Tarantino is known for having a foot fetish. If you'd like every Quentin Tarantino movie ruined for you, just look for stuff with feet. At some point, there will be feet prominently displayed front and center. But hey, maybe it'll distract you from how bad the rest of the movie is.
Fuck you.
I don't know. I think he's over. I don't know. I think.
All right, that's for another podcast. All right, so nearby. All right, so Koopa gets on the radio and he calls in an air raid to one of his evil birds, to several, like a whole squad of birds.
Oh wait, we kind of skipped over the foot licking thing though.
Did we? I thought we pretty much covered it.
I mean, so not really, not in the kind of detail that Quentin Tarantino would
all right,
expect and demand from the crew. So Koopa says something about don't the flurries offer to do something to his feet? Like they offer to do something, and he's like, "Oh, I'll tell you when I want it, because he's a dom. I'll tell you when I want you to whatever. And he goes, okay, lick my feet or clean my feet. I think it says clean my feet is what he says.
Well,
and to clean his feet, they just start licking him.
It's
his feet.
It's so bizarre. It's just a really odd choice.
They are licking him, Steve, the way I imagine a man who's just woken up from a 10-year coma,
Right.
where he could hear everything. He was like alert the whole time. So I guess it's not a coma, but he couldn't wake up. So he has felt the passage of time. He wakes up and he is now seeing his wife naked for the first time. And
Right, or if you want to get even more specific, it's like if Quentin Tarantino was locked in solitary confinement and couldn't look at any feet for like 10 years, this is what he would do the first time he saw anyone's feet,
Right.
be it man or
yes,
woman.
they're being licked very ferociously. And then Bowser goes ahead and calls in for the airstrike.
Right.
And while he's calling in for this airstrike, the flurries continue licking his feet all throughout, and they make sure to keep that in view.
Oh man, yeah. This is when it starts getting pretty weird. So he calls in the Toad tries to. Now we're back at the Birdo house. Toad tries to convince Birdo that she has the wrong guy, and then Birdo is reminded by the most bizarre cuckoo clock ever that it's time for Toad's flying lessons. Did you see this cuckoo clock?
Yeah.
Can you describe it?
I barely remember.
It's got,
to be honest,
instead of
but,
a bird that pops out, it's a human man's like head.
That's right. That's right.
Which, in a weird way, would make sense because, wait, no, a birdo is not a bird. It's just a weird lizard thing, right?
Well, and also, like, how would they know what humans look? Well, I guess they've seen Mario and Luigi, right? They're humans.
I
so
guess.
maybe.
It's just, it looks really bizarre, though. Like something out of Earthworm Jim. Anyway, so Mario and company make...
By the way, Steve, one thing, since you brought up the bird or the cuckoo clock, I didn't go over it, but James Murray, the guy that did the voice of the cuckoo clock, he also did the voice of Splinter in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, so real random, but I just wanted to throw that.
That's going into TikTok. So Mario and company make their way up the mountain, and then the birds drop the bombs on Mario and the gang. Then a whole squad of birds come and drop even more bombs and cause an avalanche of jagged ice. They run away and escape into a nearby cave. Meanwhile, dang, I got choked up because of the jagged ice. Meanwhile, Birdo gives Toad a flying lesson. He tries to bribe her into letting him go, but big surprise, she doesn't take it. Now we're back with Mario and company. Of course, Mario finds a nearby fire flower, which another sort of little fun fact that we didn't mention in the trivia section is that for some reason the stars, instead of making Mario invincible in the cartoon, just give him more fireball power like the fire flower does. Did you see that?
No, I didn't notice that. So, like, if he gets a star and he hasn't first eaten a flower, then nothing.
It just gives him fire.
Happen?
It does the same thing that a flower does. Yeah.
Oh, that's weird because I mean I know like in the cartoon, like the episode we watched, Toadstool Princess, she goes out of her way to. She has to explain to Mario that eating a fire flower will.
Yeah, I mean it's just an
superpowers.
oversight on the animators or on the writer's behalf or something. Yeah. Anyway. So yeah, he eats the flower, and then of course he gets the firepower, and he transforms and shoots away the snow. And now we're back with Koopa. He is congratulating his birds on murdering Mario and company. When the snow or flurries from before say that they survived the avalanche, so Koopa's angry, and he says that he's just gonna do it himself. And then Mario and the gang, having just escaped from the cave, hears someone call him cheap, and they look behind him, and they see a baby Birdo frozen in a block of ice. So, Yahel, I ask you, how was this baby Birdo able to make any kind of sounds? How was he able to call Mario cheap if he was frozen in ice?
I don't know. And how did he get in like this perfect block of ice? There's a lot of questions to be had here. I feel like this bird needs to be taken away from its mother, probably.
Yeah, she's not fit.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe Mario's got super hearing, I guess,
But how would it be able to make any kind of sound if you were in a frozen block? I don't think Captain America was able to talk while he was frozen in ice.
I don't know. Maybe there's a little protective layer in there between it and the ice. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense. It does not make any sense. But this is a show where there's a human being coming out of a clock. And by the way, that clock is in every episode.
What? Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's in all 65
That's so
episodes.
bizarre. So Mario frees little Birdo, and the princess just automatically deduces that it is the other Birdo's, offspring. Mama Birdo then drops Toad out of nowhere, and he uses his mushroom hat as a parachute, and then he lands right on top of the Mario crew. Like, how convenient. Then the little Birdo, who henceforth shall be known as Little Cheepy, because that was the name in the IMDb, says, Cheepy wants his mama. So Toad and the princess are going to go take him while Mario and Luigi deal with Koopa. He just shows up out of nowhere with like the entire like Koopa army like behind him. Like, you'd think they would save this for like the finale. Oh no, it's go time here. So Mario shoots all of his fireballs, but one of the birds drops a bomb on him, and it immediately takes away the power, just like in the game. Thank you for the fan service. Then they get surrounded by bad guys, but they are quickly taken out simply by Toad dropping vegetables, because that's what you do in Mario 2. You drop vegetables from above the sky, thanks to Mother Birdo like hovering above. And Koopa says he will be back as he drives away on an awesome-looking snowmobile. What do you think about the high point, the climax of the animated Mario cartoon here?
Well, it seems like Toadstool, Mario, and Luigi are not needed because Toad rescues himself,
right.
Basically. Toad also is the one that like attacks Koopa and gets him to go away. So the only thing like that Mario and Luigi really do is like they happen to find little Cheepy, but I guess Toad would have anyways because Toad lands right next to him too. So
Yep.
I don't know. What's the fucking point of Mario, Luigi, and Princess being here?
Yeah, it's like an exercise in coincidence, and I mean. And all the characters are so one-dimensional. I mean, basically, Mario seems like an optimist, and Luigi is just constantly going, "Oh, we're doomed," and Mario has to like basically talk him out of it. And Princess has no character at all, and I guess Toad is always angry and wanting to like complain and fight stuff. I guess but. Whatever. I mean, This is clearly a commercial for Nintendo. I'm sure they put as little thought into the writing as possible. But we're not done yet. Birdo invites them to dinner. Mario thinks he's about to eat spaghetti, but hilariously, it's actually a giant worm, and it starts like talking. He's like, "Hey, what are you doing trying to eat me?" or something like that, and it's just a lame sort of cartoony sight gag like this. I'll save that for the end. And so basically that is the end of the cartoon. And now we're back in the real world. Mario apologizes to Nicole Eggert. They then put her over by a furnace so she can dry off. Because remember, she got squirted by the sink when they were trying to demonstrate how they were going to unclog a sink. So they put her over by the furnace, and the furnace, I guess, is just too hot, and it gets like soot all over her. Then they offer to she steps on a cake. Like, why is the cake on the ground? She steps on it.
I don't know.
And then they offer her to sit down, and she sits on a pizza. Yeah, and then they try to usher her to go somewhere else, and then they put her under the trash chute, and then a bunch of like trash just falls on her from the trash chute.
Why do they have a chute that's sending trash into their home?
I know. And then this is when we get like the first sort of I don't know, you can be the judge on Luigi says, "Hey, somehow it looks good on her," referring to all the trash and stuff they put her through. Yeah. I mean, let's just assume that she's 18 when shooting this, because
but mathematically, that's not possible.
All right, we'll go with the logic then.
She was 17 at the oldest. It's probably 16.
Okay, well, let's just pretend that she wants to do what's about to happen. So they did show seeds from The Legend of Zelda, and now we're back once again with Mario and the crew, and they apologize to Nicole. They offer to pay for everything, and she keeps saying, no, it's okay, it's no big deal. And then they're like, really? And then she's like, yeah, see, I'm going to a sloppy party where the person who dresses the sloppiest wins. And then, hold on, I need to get my music queued up for what's about to happen here. All right. All right, it's on. Okay, here it comes. All right, there it is. Okay. So they say, really? And she goes, really? And they go, well, in that case. And then Nicole takes the cake. She grabs it and rubs it all over her chest. And not only that, but she arches her back. And like, it's just the most, like, she's experiencing something. While these two middle-aged men each take a bit of cake and begin rubbing it. Well, they're sticking to the shoulders and the arms, but they're rubbing it all over her. Yeah,
I think they get a little bit of her leg, but I mean, they do stay away from like her chest and her ass. Right. And I don't know. But either way, it's still uncomfortable.
Oh, absolutely. And yeah, it said and the weird thing is that she seems to enjoy it, and it's all strangely erotic. What a perfect ending to a kid's cartoon.
Yeah. And she's like, I'm going to a sloppy party. You know, whoever like dresses sloppiest wins. And now I don't have to go get a costume.
Right. I left that out.
What kind of costume? What?
The idea is that you just put a bunch of crap on so you don't have to spend money on a costume. Man, they like my question is, because I tried to look for credits to see if maybe they had like different directors for the live action stuff. I mean, we can only assume from the evidence that we have that one Dan Ryba here, who, according to his credits, he's mostly an animation guy, but maybe he's responsible for these live action ones. And they were just like, oh, wow. Nicole Eggert is coming on my show. Well, I've got some stuff that she can do. And I was actually, I read a very short interview with Nicole Eggert, because I guess she gets asked about this quite a bit. And she said that, you know, she was just sort of going with it and being a good sport, though she thought it was very strange.
Well, she's not wrong.
Yeah, but wow. And that is basically the end of the Super Mario Brothers Super Show. I just wonder if all the other episodes end as erotically as this one. Like maybe the one with Roddy Piper or Ernie Hudson.
I mean, you know, they must, because if you're inviting Elvira onto your show in full Elvira garb, which is not much. You know, there's a level of eroticism to be expected.
Now, I wonder if they had her getting, like, you know, pelted with, you know, cake and dust and, you know, man, someone just really has, like, a fetish of, like, covering people with just, like, dirt. And I just wonder how many takes that whole cake thing went down. If, you know, Dan Ryba was just over there. Okay, so what you're going to do here, you're going to grab the cake, cram it into your chest, and you got to make sure you arch your back. If you don't arch your back, it's just not going to work. Or, on the other hand, was that her natural instinct to just grab the cake, cram it into her chest, and oh yeah.
I'm guessing that they only had one cake.
Right.
So this had to be done in one take. Either that or she didn't want to have to do more than one take.
Right.
Because, she would have had, like, think about it. If they were going to do more than one take, not only would they need multiple takes, but multiples of the same outfit and
Right.
all that kind of stuff. So I'm sure it was like they have to get it done in one take. So she's just like, let me go for this. Just so like, there's no way that we have to do another take.
Right. So I can go back to my trailer and wash all this crap off of me while Dan Ryba watches on a closed circuit camera.
Closed circuit.
Yeah.
She's like, I can't wait to go complain to Scott Baio about this.
He'll fix everything. She shows up at Scott Baio and he's like, take the cake and put it on your chest again. All right, let's close this thing out.
Remember how I rated that with the question.
All right, Super Velasquez. Do you think that the Super Mario Brothers Super Show should be remembered for all of humanity, or should it be tossed into the black hole of obscurity with cake, never to be heard from again?
Oh man, this one's tough because I don't know. I mean, it's not good. Right?
No, it's not. It's like, I would almost say that it is video power bad.
I mean, I would watch this over video power just because video power like doesn't do what it tells you it's going to do really. At least this like is its premise, and Mario and Luigi, they're a bit of a train wreck to watch, but
a fun train wreck.
Yeah, kind of entertaining. It's really dumb. The cartoon part, much like in video power, I could do without. But you know what? It was so erotic, Steve, that I can't throw something that erotic into the bit of obscurity. So I'm going to say remember.
See, I can't imagine that the future level or the future episodes have this level of eroticism in them.
We need to watch the Elvira level, I feel.
Level, the Elvira level. That sounds right.
Yeah, the Elvira level of the.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that this one deserves a stalemate for sure. I wouldn't want it tossed into the. I mean, you can never truly like destroy Mario because there's always going to be new Mario fans, and then they're going to discover it on the internet. So stalemate it is. Here we go. Well, I guess I should go into a little more deep. Like, the cartoon sucks. It's the worst thing about it, much like video power. So yeah, there you go. The writing was awful. I mean, typical. We're just having a show, like there's no character work, very little story, just stuff happened.
Yeah, I before you play the bumper, I saw one review on IMDb that said Deke spared nearly every expense with the show.
And that pretty much sums it up. All right, here it comes.
Yep.
It's just in, those pathetic podcasters known as Obscurity Now have once again rendered a verdict of no contest. That's right, a stalemate. They've wasted everyone's time. They are just as lazy as Congress and twice as corrupt. Boo, I say, tar and feather 'em. Get out the guillotine. Boo to stalemate, and boo to Obscurity Now.
All right, that feels right. I think we did the world a service here. Sure. Anything else to add before we sign off here?
Not really. I guess we should talk actually about the outro song.
Sure.
The Mario. So basically, like, there's just some like still images of what are they, like drawings from like levels from the Mario games, kind of.
Yeah,
like,
I mean it's from the cartoon, and Lou Albano just stands there going like this.
Yeah, kind of shaking side to side,
right.
And then they just on a green screen, and they just have him pop up at different spots of these paintings. And I feel like he only filmed like 30 seconds of dancing, and they just keep like looping it every time there's a cut. Is what I think they did. But yeah, because like it doesn't really like go with the music, but yeah, Lou Albano, I keep mispronouncing his name, does the rap or do the Mario. And it's catchy as fuck. It's terrible.
Yeah.
It's terrible, but it's so catchy. And that's how I would describe this show. Like I said earlier, it's hard to look away.
Right.
It's yeah.
I agree.
That's the last thing I had to say. I think we would have been remiss not to bring up his performance there at the end.
I think you're.
I do like.
What's that?
I do like how that end wrap at first it's like kind of interesting and like, oh, that's neat, and then it goes on like too long and it's just like weird.
Oh yeah, you nailed it right there. I mean, I couldn't imagine watching like more than like 2 episodes in a row of this. So yeah, it would go on too long as well. But yeah, I'm glad you brought. Yeah, he definitely went for it. One of the other sort of little fun facts is that I guess he initially didn't want to do Mario, but his wife convinced him to do it. And I'd say he's probably more well remembered as Mario than from his wrestling at this point.
Yeah, I agree. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but there's also another IMDb review that kind of cracked me up, and it was left really recently, last month, that they gave the show a 10 out of 10, but the reviewer goes on and on about how much they love Toad, and it just gets like a little, I guess I'll read part of it.
Sure.
So I want to give this show a perfect 10 out of 10. This is because my favorite character in the series is Toad. I love his color scheme in the first 3 episodes. Moreover, he is also my favorite character because, to me, he is very cute. I love how he squeaks all the time in the series. He has a cute voice, and I think he is an adorable mushroom in this cartoon. Toad is by far my favorite character in the series. And then they go on and on and on about
now Toad, get over here and lick my feet.
He is extremely cute, and I not only love his appearance, but how he makes all those cute, squeaky noises from time to time when he is either lands or is touched.
Man, I had it in the format and I forgot to ask you, like, when or if you play Mario Kart, who do you even choose?
Toad, because he's hot.
Of course. He's great at licking feet too, I hear.
Yeah. Well, there's not really 8 characters in Mario Kart. Well, there's 8 characters, but like there's only like 4 styles.
Right.
Because like Koopa and Toad play the same, Bowser and Donkey Kong Jr. play the same, etc. Mario and Luigi play the same, blah, blah, blah. I usually go with either Mario. I mean, sometimes I'll like do Koopa or whatever, or Bowser, like just to like switch things up. But I tend to do Mario because he's kind of like all around. How about you?
I'm a Luigi guy. Well, for a while I was Luigi, just because, I don't know, I felt like whenever he would get a star, he would just really like come into his own, I guess, which of course didn't really happen too much. But on the Switch Mario one, I just play as Waluigi on one of the bikes. I don't know why. I feel like since he's skinnier, he's going to go faster.
Sure.
I don't know.
Sure.
Whatever.
You body shamer. Did you know in the original Super Mario Kart that getting coins makes you go faster?
Wow. No, I did not know that. That's pretty interesting.
I didn't know that either. Yeah, it's in the fucking instruction booklet.
I'm sure, like, what kid is going to read that back then?
But yeah, I used to read them, but I somehow did not know that. But anyways, we're really getting off course here. Steve, is there anything else that you would like to add?
No, I just hope that the next time we revisit a classic video game kids cartoon, that it's just as erotic as this one.
That sounds good. Well, if you want more video game powered eroticism from us, you can follow us on TikTok at Reptilian Media. Twitter is also at Reptilian Media. And Instagram, I believe, is also at Reptilian Media.
Yep.
And if you want to listen to us or watch us, you can search for Reptilian Media or Obscurity Now on YouTube. And you can get this show you're listening to right now wherever you got it from or wherever you listen to podcasts.
Thanks for coming. And yeah, definitely, if you like this episode, I'm definitely going to have a lot of fun making a TikTok of Nicole Eggert covering herself in cake while having cake added to her by 2 middle-aged men. So
can't wait to have the account deleted.
All right. Well, we will see you next Sunday as we continue to unearth even more obscure media only on Obscurity Now. You've been enjoying Obscurity Now, a podcast that's recorded live to tape and streamed to Twitch and YouTube. Subscribe so you never miss an episode or hilarious quip. Take us with you by following the download links provided in the show notes to wherever you get podcasts. And take notice of our various social media links. If that's what you're into, I'm not here to judge. And make sure you join us live next week at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific as we continue to discuss more obscure media only on Obscurity Now.